So, round 5, here we are, one another die roll, on the play. What do we have? Well, this is like that one earlier where I've got interaction but not actually any way of attacking. Still, I have 2 lands, I'm going to keep it. My opponent keeps also, and I make the Scalding Tarn with the intention of getting a Steam Vents unless I have to do something. Inquisition of Kozilek. Ugh. Could be worse. I crack for a Steam Vents now, so I can F6 let my opponent have their choice. Draw a Lightning Bolt. Might have surprise value in case my opponent makes something interesting here, but they thought seize to an Electrolyze. So an Electrolyze gets taken. They make a Marshblast. That suggests possibly a Lingering Souls deck. If they are a Lingering Souls deck, then I'm unlikely to have something that interacts well with that. I just want to find my lands, so I'm going to probe for mana now. I don't want to, or life even, apparently. Make my polluted delta. That's alright, I can Electrolyze if my opponent does make Lingering Souls. They make a forest, so my opponent has their mana sorted, and here it is, Lingering Souls. Ugh. So, polluted delta, bzzzt, kill the spirits, and I draw a mana off my Electrolyze, which is the best possible card to draw off an Electrolyze when you're trying to fight against Lingering Souls. Serum Visions, I see Young Pyromancer, Scalding Tarn, I draw Delver of Secrets. I'm going to get greedy and hope my opponent flashes back that Lingering Souls. So I'm going to keep up my mana for Remand. These 2 I'm going to keep. I decide to put the Scalding Tarn on the bottom, although I could do with another land at some point. Next turn I'm likely to play the Delver of Secrets, and it'd be nice to have a chance of flipping it. My opponent untaps. Forest, Swamp, Flash, Scavenging Ooze. That's okay, there's no creatures in the graveyard, and my probe earlier, I saw an Abrupt Decay, and I saw a Taxian Probe, and I saw a Tasigur. Scavenging Ooze is fine. There's the Ghost Quarter, Flashback Lingering Souls, Remand. So, Remand against Lingering Souls, perfect. They cast this from their graveyard, Remand would put it back in their hand, but Flashback says, nope, if it would go anywhere except the Exile Zone, exile it instead. So, Remand puts it in the Exile Zone, and I draw a card, and my opponent doesn't get the benefit. So, this Scavenging Ooze here, I'm going to do Young Pyromancer, Lightning Bolt to kill it. My opponent's got 3 cards in hand. I know they're an Abrupt Decay and a Tasigur, and I don't know what the other card is. Remember I probed earlier, I think I didn't pause very long on replay. So kill that, pass the turn. Now against Tasigur I've got this Vapor Snag, so I'm quite strong against that card. My opponent indeed makes Tasigur the Golden Fang. So, although Vapor Snag doesn't actually force through much damage, it does interfere with my opponent quite well. So I make my Delver of Secrets, Vapor Snag, the Tasigur attacking for 1. I've got a Spell Snare up, I could Taxian Probe, but there's no need, I might draw a Young Pyromancer or similar. My opponent Thought Seizes me, kind of annoying, takes the Spell Snare, makes a Tarmogoyf. Well, at least I got Snapcaster for this Vapor Snag. I reveal a Young Pyromancer, and I think, that's better, isn't it? I'm going to make a Young Pyromancer. I know my opponent's cards are Tasigur and an unknown card. I decide to pay the mana to see what it is. The unknown card is a Path to Exile. Well, that's going to interfere with me, but I got my token. It could be worse. So Path, Tasigur, draw Grim Lavamancer. Terrific. My opponent paths my Young Pyromancer end of turn, and I fetch my basic. Now that's good. I've got more lands in play. I was struggling a little on lands. I'm going to take 4, I think, because I think my opponent's going to make a Tasigur, and then I can Snapcaster. Oh, Abrupt Decay. Ugh, I needed that. Well, here comes Tasigur then. Last card in my opponent's hand. Abrupt Decay the Delver of Secrets, which is kind of annoying. Draw a Remand. That could be good, but I'll Snapcast a Vapor Snag, make the Grim Lavamancer, and attack in for 2. Just trying to get my opponent's life total as low as I can. So this Remand is good, but my opponent has to draw a spell this turn. Right, they've only got 4 mana there. Wait, what are they doing? Ghost Quarter? Ghost Quartering their forest means they can cast Tasigur this time. but it does mean they don't have any green mana. That Stirring Wildwood is their only source of green mana, which means it's not going to get activated. Well, that could be interesting. So I take my 4, and my Grim Lavamancer is suddenly looking very appealing. I've got all these blockers. Make my island, and I could attack in for 2, but I just want to block and then deal my opponent damage with Grim Lavamancer as much as possible. I hope it works out. So I double block. I'm on 8. My opponent's got 2 4-power creatures. My opponent draws Lingering Souls. Now Raman's obviously good against the second half of Lingering Souls, like I discussed earlier. But actually, I just want to get as much time as possible. I'm not trying to grind my opponent out now. My opponent's got a better board than I do. I want to end the game before my opponent kills me, so I can't let these Lingering Souls come into play. So I remand it now, and I Lavamancer my opponent, getting rid of the creatures, shrinking the Goyf. So the Goyf's only a 3/4 now. I couldn't have killed it, even though it had a damage on. Couldn't have killed it by shrinking it. Young Pyromancer, well that's good. That'll help in future at least. Goyf's a 3/4. Well, I'm attacking for 2 while I can. Get my opponent to 6. I'm going to have to hope my opponent can't grow the Goyf. There's already sorceries in the yard, so Lingering Souls doesn't help. My opponent has to have literally a creature removal spell this turn to stop me, and then I can still block with the Grim Lavamancer, so it could be a lot worse. Put my opponent to 4. My opponent casts Lingering Souls, which resolves, obviously. My opponent's only attacking with Tazaga. Well, that helps a lot. So I take my 4. I look at my graveyard. I think I tried to get rid of the sorceries because I noticed I have 2 Gitaxian Probes and a Serum Visions. I failed to notice I only had 2 lands, so I could have shrunk the Goyf even more at this point, and I didn't notice it. So this Grim Lavamancer went to my opponent's dome, and the Goyf is still a 3/4. Now this is the point at which I notice it and regret it. But make a Delver of Secrets, and look at this, my opponent's on 4. If I can do 2 Grim Lavamancer activations, my opponent's dead. So what I need to do is not die this turn. That's all I need to do. And even if I do block with a bunch of creatures and my opponent kills my Lavamancer, I still have the out of top decking a burn spell. So I block every ground creature I can. I keep the Young Pyromancer over the Snapcaster Mage or the Delver, since it's any of them are bound to deal as much damage. My opponent's going to have a blocker for any of them via the Lingering Souls, but it just means that if I draw a way of killing some of my opponent's creatures, then Young Pyromancer will create tokens for future chump blocks on my side. My opponent draws, well, taps his mana, taps their mana. I'm worried about Siege Rhino, but nope, they don't have it. So against the Abzan version of Green-Black, now is when I do take out my Spell Pierce and my 2 mana leaks, and I bring in Threads of Disloyalty and Roast, but I bring in Is It Staticaster. I mentioned in the pre-show it's good against Lingering Souls. That card's really good against me. Otherwise, having both Electrolyzers that game was really useful in fighting that Lingering Souls. That first one would have killed me otherwise. So another way to fight that is wonderful. So let's go on to game 2. Game 2 here, my opponent on the play. This hand, well, it's got spells, hasn't got a threat, but again, can't mulligan it. These hands seem to work out, actually, especially with the Serum Visions. I get to see what I want to keep. I draw a Serum Visions, so I make Island, cast a Serum Visions, make an Island, and where's it gone? The chat's not here. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw a Young Pyromancer in there, and another card that I put to the bottom, but Magic Online isn't showing me what I did in this replay right now. My opponent cracks the Marsh Flats for a tapped Temple Garden, so they can make an untapped Woodland Ceremony, and Inquisition of Cos let me take the remand. I draw a Young Pyromancer. So taking a remand suggests to me my opponent is about to have, or is going to have a Lingering Souls at some point. Because Remand's not tremendous against my opponent's deck, except the Lingering Souls. So I make a Scalding Tarn. I'm going to crack it for a tapped land. And my opponent has a Lingering Souls. Very annoying. So I crack my Scalding Tarn, get a tap Steam Vents, untap, remand. Is it going to happen? Tap Steam Vents. I reckon my opponent's going to flash back their Lingering Souls. Their whole plan has been Inquisition my Remand, Lingering Souls, flashback Lingering Souls. Might as well let them carry on with that plan. They think all I've got is the 2 mana for this Vapor Snag and Lightning Bolt. They don't know about these 2 cards. Here we go. Flashback, Remand, boom. Now I've still got 2 tokens to deal with, but we'll see what happens. Well, draw a Snapcaster Mage. So my hand's shaping up nicely. I've got 4 mana, which is enough to cast everything, and six good spells. I mean, the deck's already got good spells. So I cast Young Pyromancer, and I'm going to cast Serum Visions. So I get my token. I got Vapor Snag and Lightning Bolt kept up. And I see, well, I draw a Probe, that's good. A land I don't need, and my Staticaster. Well, that's going to be great against fighting these spirits, so I'm definitely going to keep that. So land on bottom, Staticaster on top. Probe my opponent just to get the other token, and my opponent had Scavenging Ooze, Tarmogoyf, 2 Abrupt Decay. So Scavenging Ooze and Tarmogoyf are going to be difficult to fight through, but as I have no counters, I've only got this Lightning Bolt. So my opponent Abrupt Decays, and I think, well, I could Vapor Snag one of these now and get the other token, or I could Bolt my opponent. But I've got Staticaster to kill these things. I'd rather save these to do something worthwhile later on, so I keep my mana. You saw me go for the Vapor Snag there, maybe. I keep it. Take my 2. And my opponent makes a Forest, which they've drawn, so the hand is Abrupt Decay, Scavenging Ooze, Tarmogoyf, and inexplicably makes the Tarmogoyf. That's not inexplicable at all. That's very explicable. So I Vapor Snag it just to keep it off. Means I can attack in for a bit of damage. Untap. Sulphur Falls. Well, my hand's all a bit expensive, so I can Staticaster, which I really need to do to stop these. I could Vendilion Clique, or I can keep up Snapcaster Remand. I decide, since my opponent has Abrupt Decay, to go for Staticaster now, just so as they can't path 1 spirit in response. So I wipe my opponent's board, attack in for 2. Looks alright. I know my opponent's hand is Abrupt Decay, Tarmogoyf, Scavenging Ooze. They draw a Thoughtseize. Blurg, that's really good against me. So down's presumably my Snapcaster Mage goes, yeah. Lightning Bolt and Vendilion Clique remain. My opponent makes the Tarmogoyf. So opponent has Abrupt Decay, Scavenging Ooze. I Vendilion Clique my opponent. There is no point in casting this to Taxian Probe. I'd rather save it until I have a Young Pyromancer in play. I just don't need another card at this point, and I don't know what's on top. One trick is to Serum Visions into 2 cards, scry as you like, and then if you do want to draw one of them, you can use Taxian Probe. So since I don't actually need a card just yet, I'm going to keep it in hand. I do take my opponent's Scavenging Ooze, so they've got a Abrupt Decay and an unknown card, and then contrary to all the explanation that I said, I cast this Taxian Probe. At least I did it for mana. But my opponent's drawn an Overgrown Tomb, I draw a Lightning Bolt. My opponent draws another Thoughtseize. Kind of annoying. Still, my opponent can't really attack after this Tarmogoyf. After this Tarmogoyf attacks through, having killed my Vendilion Clique, my opponent's empty-handed. But in future turns, my opponent can't attack. This Goyf's a 4/5. Lightning Bolt's 3. A token block is 1, and this deals another 1. That's 5. If I have a token back to chump block, my opponent can't actually attack. Well, that's quite neat. So I draw my card, Polluted Delta, not a good card. Attack for 1, keeping back my chump blocker. And my opponent can't attack. Now my opponent knows I've got this Lightning Bolt. They draw another Abrupt Decay. They're third of the game, and decide to kill my token, so they can attack. So I do take my 4, and I have to start leaving this token back. Deprive's a good one. That'll stop any future shenanigans, but for the moment we're in a bit of a stalemate. My opponent can't attack, and neither can I. My opponent draws and makes a land, presumably making it now rather than keeping it for bluffing purposes, just so as that they at least have multiple white mana in play in case I Molten Rain, the more similar. Serum Visions. Well, good. That's good. What do I see? I draw a mountain. I see a Snapcaster Mage. Perfect. Put the Sulphur Falls on the bottom. Now I've got Bolt, Snap, Bolt for the classic kill you out of nowhere blue-red deck. So that's my plan. Make this mountain, leave the Snapcaster on top. My opponent draws their one card, does nothing with their turn. I don't bolt just yet, but I draw my Snapcaster. My opponent draws another card, passes to the air end step, and I think, well, if I bolt, snap, bolt, I put my opponent to 1, and then if I attack with my 2 creatures, I have a 2/1 and a 1/1 to attack with. That will kill my opponent unless they have a removal spell. I got this Deprive. Is that risky? Well, I'll at least put my opponent to 1. There's nothing too bad about that. That can't go wrong. I make the Snapcaster Mage, and my opponent decides that enough is enough. So I win the game. I went 2-0. I went 2-0 in all 5 of my league matches. So I'll have a bit of a wrap up. Just one moment.